3 years earlier, and Eleanor had never worked and was navigating, I imagined, a kind of financial exposure she had never anticipated. I made her tea. I included her in plans. I tried. She mistook my trying for weakness. That was mistake too. Hers, not mine. But I let it continue longer than I should have, which made it partially mine as well. The financial requests started in month 7 of the marriage. First, it was a casual mention of needing help with a medical bill. $800, which I gave without tracking because it seemed rude to track. Then $2,000 for a car repair that turned out to be, based on photos Darren accidentally showed me, a new car. Then a semi-formal request, delivered through Darren over dinner one night, that I put Eleanor on my bank account as a secondary holder for emergencies. I said no. Darren's face changed when I said no. Not dramatically, just a shift, like a light adjusting, the temperature of him dropping 2 degrees. He didn't yell. He said fine and left the table and was quiet for 3 days. I told myself it was disappointment and that it would pass. It passed. The requests didn't. Eleanor escalated. By month 12, she was asking for $5,000 a month. She called it a family contribution, said it with the particular authority of a woman who believes that framing something correctly makes it real. I said no each time. Each no cost me something. A fight with Darren that went too long. A weekend of silence. A dinner where Eleanor didn't acknowledge me directly for 3 hours, and Darren said nothing. By month 18, she wanted half the condo. By month 20, she wanted full ownership transferred to her name. I remember the night she first said it clearly. We were sitting in my living room, which Eleanor had taken to calling the sitting room, in a way that had a particular territorial quality, and she put down her wine glass and said, Darren's name should be on this property, and where Darren's name goes, mine follows. That's how family works. I said, my name is on the property. It will remain on the property. She looked at Darren. Darren looked at me and said nothing. I went to bed. I lay awake for 2 hours running the arithmetic of the past 18 months and arriving at a sum that made me feel cold in the specific way you feel cold when you realize you have been slowly adjusted degree by degree to a temperature that is wrong. The escalation loops, when I look back at them, are almost textbook. First loop, the money requests, and the silence that followed my refusals. I told myself Darren was caught between his wife and his mother, that this was a normal tension, that it would resolve when Eleanor eventually went home. She did not go home. She began spending more time in the city, staying sometimes a week, sometimes 2. My guest room started accumulating her things. A hand mirror on the dresser, a cosmetics bag under the sink, a specific brand of herbal tea in my cabinet, small territorial markings. Second loop, the social pressure. Eleanor began bringing friends to my home, not asking, mentioning, the way you mention a fact. Tanya is coming Sunday. I told her you'd make that chicken dish. I made the chicken dish. I told myself this was generosity. It was not generosity. It was surrender disguised as hospitality. And every time I surrendered, the next ask got larger. Third loop, the documentation I started keeping. This started about 14 months in, when something my therapist said stuck. Her name is Dr. Renata Obi. She has been in practice for 19 years and specializes in what she calls coercive relationship dynamics, which is a clinical term for when someone you love rearranges your reality slowly enough that you don't notice until you're standing in a room you don't recognize. I had started seeing her